Hi friends, and welcome back to another awesome episode of NewTubers Interviews. My name is Meg, and today I'm going to be chatting with three of our very own alumni, Doge, Dietec, and Accept. Now, for those of you who may not know, NewTubers alumni are creators who have reached or exceeded 5,000 subscribers, but still hang around with the community to share their knowledge. We could not be more grateful for them. Lastly, this interview was recorded before the YouTube monetization changes were announced, but we still wanted to share it in its entirety. We hope you enjoy. All right, guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and let you introduce yourselves and your channels. We can just go ahead and get started, and Doge Charger, you are first.
All right, neat. Hey, everyone. So my name is Doge Charger, and I run a fairly medium-sized channel, about 11,000 subscribers, and I focus on primarily automotive content with a gaming focus.
Yeah, man, nice. I am Dietec, and I have a technology channel, and I basically just modify computers and make tutorials and time-lapse videos on how to go about doing that.
Nice. So I'm Accept. I'm like a meme channel, pretty much. I try to just do comedy, and I haven't been around for long. I started back in like September of 2017, and my channel just kind of blew up from there.
You are one of the lucky ones. So, at what point in your growth did you join NewTubers, and how has being a part of the community affected your channel?
So I joined NewTubers when I was a fairly small channel, about 2 years or so, I want to say. I had about 800 subscribers. And, I definitely was able to gain some great tips in projecting my content to the right people and making my community be a very, niche and tight-knit, because it's very important, I found, to carve your own niche.
For sure. No, absolutely. What about you, Dietec?
Well, I actually joined, you don't really join NewTubers. I, started reading NewTubers probably before I even started a channel at all. Probably a couple of months before I started it. I just wanted to be pretty prepared for what I was going to get into, so I just did a bunch of reading, and it actually helped me get off the ground pretty quickly, I think. It was super helpful.
Oh, was that... Sorry, you joined it before you started your channel?
Yeah, I started reading up on all the stuff.
Wise move.
Oh, okay, that's pretty sweet. And sorry, Doge, were you before, NewTubers before, or...?
When I very first started my channel, right, this was way back in 2014, I want to say. This was back when I did Minecraft videos and stuff like that. Right. But yeah, and then afterwards I tried to see if I could project my content out to more people, and I figured out that there's NewTubers, and it really was a great resource for helping me grow my channel out.
Nice.
Yeah, I was reading on NewTubers, and all the stuff that they say for new people to do, SEO and build your brand and everything. I just decided to go about doing all that before, brand building, for example. Just started doing that before I even made a video. So
yeah, I joined. I had a second channel before this meme channel. I made hockey videos, and it was halfway through the summer last year where I found NewTubers, because I was man, I don't know what I'm if I'm doing things properly on YouTube or not. I was just I was making videos, and I don't know, there's tags and stuff, and I was just doing them randomly, and I wasn't typing in many tags. So I don't know, NewTubers helped a massive amount for me. I think one of the main things I learned from NewTubers was sharing your content and how to share it, because I think that's kind of what helped my channel a lot.
Was sharing your content?
Yeah.
Getting the reviews and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really thought of sharing it in they were saying go to specific subreddits and go to search in ton of Facebook groups and stuff, and posting your content there.
I always feel super dirty when I post in subreddits.
Right.
I don't like posting in subreddits unless it's very specific, because I mean the point of subreddits is they want to see content, right? So I'm well, if it's related to what you make, I guess one here or there is okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that from that sharing content is where some people sort of do that really well. I don't know if you guys find this annoying, but I always find it a little bit disconcerting when someone says, "Oh, hey, I loved your video. Now check out my channel." I always found that really invasive and just generally annoying, right?
Oh yeah,
like they're piggybacking off of someone's success.
That stuff's that's so different. That won't. I don't think that really gets you very far. I don't think that'll really help you if you're trying to share it that way.
Definitely
Nobody will really click on that.
Right.
No, but if you find a subreddit that's specific to your niche, and you get to know them, and you're a part of the community, then that's what it's all about.
I guess
definitely.
Yeah, the nice thing about what I'm doing is there's a niche already built around this kind of stuff, so I didn't really have to search too much. I was already like in that community.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And people are looking for you, right? So.
Well, not necessarily, but
no, you don't think so? They're kind of just. How did you think that you like push yourself, kind of like your content out there?
Well, it is a niche, right? Not a lot of people are doing that. Modding computers. There's a lot of tech channels, obviously, but not a lot of modders, and I could probably count the number of modders that I know, popular modders, on like one hand. So it's just like there's room for growth there, I guess.
True.
For sure. So here's a question for you guys. Like, what major challenges did you face when you first started your channels? Because, you know, our very, very small content creators are coming in, and, you know, the challenges they're facing now are probably different than what you faced. But I think there are some universal challenges that everybody faces. So what was something that you just really, really struggled with at the beginning?
One of the things I think that was a major hurdle to get over was trying to find what kind of content you do. Because I feel like a lot of people try and start out with like a gaming channel, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but you're not going to be able to get a decent amount of views because that's such an overly saturated sort of market on YouTube, right? You have to sort of think of this from like a statistical standpoint, I think.
Yeah.
So it's important to niche yourself, essentially. If you know you like gaming content, do some kind of games which aren't typically done by other players.
You were saying something about like what challenges people can face when they're coming into like universal challenges.
Correct.
I think for tech tubers specifically, it's like expense. Like tech tubing can be kind of expensive. You got to get all this like stuff, right? You got to get. I mean, technology is expensive in general.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would say that I don't really have a lot of experience. I don't know. I can't really give advice to people that aren't tech tubers. But what I did to overcome that is, well, I already had a computer, and I feel like everyone who does YouTube videos has a computer. You need something to edit on, but
they should.
I just took all of the computer parts out of my editing computer and just like did all of the mods, the first mods on that. So they weren't free because I bought the computer, but I didn't have to buy more stuff.
Right, you used what you had.
So you think like your channel, maybe like the kind of content that you do is probably harder for maybe someone that like it might be money definitely has to be a part of that.
Definitely, if you're like, obviously the popular tech tubers, I don't know if you guys watch that kind of stuff. I do all the time, but
like people like Jay's 2 Cents, for example.
Yeah, Jay's 2 Cents, etc. Just the really big guys. They have, I mean, tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, right? And nobody's gonna just get that. So you have to like build up from not very much, and then like eventually you'll start getting sponsorships and that kind of thing, and start building up your equipment like that. But and obviously getting paid through YouTube and Amazon affiliate links and stuff like that. You can put that money back into just the costs of running a channel if you're a tech tuber. But I would say that the advice that I would have, that's like the most the hardest hurdle to hurdle over if you're a tech tuber, and I would say that the best way to overcome that is just to like use stuff that you already have.
Well, I mean, I would think that would make you more approachable to like the average viewer, because somebody that's coming in like looking to like mod their tech stuff, they may not have a larger budget, or they may not have a lot of knowledge, and so if you're using what you already have, it seems like it would be easier for them to follow along or do what you're doing, or, you know, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and that's true. A lot of people, I would say the majority of people, don't have like super high-end stuff or really expensive tools or whatever. So even so, it's better to have like the more mid-range stuff, because then you'll reach a lot more people that way.
All right, except what major challenge did you face when you first started your channel or channels, since you've had two, I believe, correct?
Yeah. My original channel was, I mean, I wanted to use, I love editing and like, I love making hockey videos. This is a little unrelated, but that's what my channel was. It was like hockey content. And like near the end of making the hockey content, I found out like it took so long to make the videos where like I kind of wanted to actually have a YouTube channel where I could like interact with like a fan base. And I couldn't really get that with that. So that's when I made the meme channel. And I think I didn't really have a challenge when it came to like thinking of ideas to make, because I was just like constantly thinking of stupid stuff in my head. Like I'm always watching those kind of videos with my friends. So I'd say like one of the hardest parts of starting my channel was like being consistently like uploading consistently. And like there was times where I would upload like one video one week and like 3 or 4 the next week, but like one day there would be 3 videos. So it wasn't like, and it was not helping. Like I was checking the analytics almost every day to see if, you know, if there was any kind of growth going on. But for the first like couple of months in the summer, until I made like the one video that kind of took off, I was getting like no views. And I think a lot of that had to do with, well, first before I wasn't really using NewTubers, I wasn't really sharing my content. And then 2, it was like having a consistent upload schedule. I guess a lot of my memes at start were not getting many views, and like the only views I was getting was from like when I was sharing it on Reddit and stuff, but that wasn't ever really helping on YouTube. Like the analytics, it was saying how like most of my views were coming from external sources, which doesn't really help when it's like trying to grow on like YouTube and like your search, like when people search up kind of memes, like I'm nowhere near like I'm nowhere near like the top 5 pages for any video. So that was the hardest part. Like I was never able to get like a steady audience, and I felt like before, during the summer, like before I got lucky, I think if I just continued uploading but like at a steady pace. And also I guess one last challenge was that the memes that I was making before was that they weren't really related to like current subjects. Like I was just kind of making memes that I thought was funny. Yeah. So like I think one of my first videos was like some Toy Story meme, and like no one's talking about Toy Story. So it's like, well, of course no one's going to search for that kind of meme. Yeah. So like when I was like really starting out, I wasn't thinking of what, you know, like what people are looking for right now. I was kind of just making what I thought was funny. And like, it's not to say that the people that are what they're searching up now I don't find funny. Like I still enjoy making that. It's just I realized that if I wanted to like gain an audience on YouTube, I had to make stuff that people were at least searching for and something that was current.
Right. I mean, that's a major thing. Yeah, for sure. I think those are excellent points and excellent challenges. All of you guys are like, you know, very relatable. You know, it's awesome. So I don't know if you guys have mentioned it before. I'm going to ask the question again. How long did it take you each to reach the 5,000 subscriber mark and become an alumni?
Let me think here. So I started my channel back in 2013 or so, and at that point my videos really didn't get a lot of views. Like I was lucky to reach 500 views or so, and yeah, it was kind of a drag, right? I shifted my content often. I think because at first I made like just normal gameplay videos, and after that I had a content shift to where I made montage parodies actually a lot, because that was very popular on YouTube back in 2013 or so, 2014. And then I shifted my content focus again to a very meme-based gameplay, I suppose you could call it, where I heavily edited video clips to try and make it more interactive with the audience and to try and add my own sort of flair to it. Then after that point is when I started seeing major growth, when I made my content much more personalized. And then it was actually only about a year, I want to say a year and a half ago, when I reached 5,000. And that was when I had my...
It's not bad.
Yeah, it isn't bad at all. I know that there's a solid chunk of people who still struggle to get a large sub count. But overall, it took me something like, I'd like to say, 4 years or so. Yeah, about 4 years sounds right. That's about the amount of time it took me to reach 5,000 subscribers.
I mean, I feel like that's decent, normal growth. Like if you're not going to hit it big, or if you don't, get that lucky strike, I think that's pretty good considering.
Right, yeah. There's definitely people who have had slower growth. I know there's plenty of smaller channels which I absolutely love their content. There's also far larger channels which make fairly uninspiring content. So I think it all just depends on your target audience and how saturated it is.
Exactly.
You were saying how you were changing your content up too? You were saying how like you were changing your content up, like you were switching like your ideas kind of.
Yeah, I definitely switch my content pretty often from one type to the next until I finally found my niche, which is with I figured that I like both cars and I like both video games, so I'd incorporate both, and I focus more on automotive gameplay, which doesn't see as much YouTube time, surprisingly, especially simulator-based games. And especially at that point, I started to carve a much more intricate and well-known community.
Dietec, what about you?
So, how long did it take to reach 5K? So,
yep, that's the big question.
I think I just looked at my analytics, and it looks like it took me between 4 and 5 months to do that.
That's
What?
quick.
Really?
That's good.
Damn.
That is impressive.
Yeah. So, well, I think.
So what happened there? Tell us your secrets. What happened?
Yeah, tell us all your trade secrets.
I think it's just the niche that I'm in is like there's not a lot of people doing like what I'm doing, like I said before, and
right.
I think also that all of my content is like evergreen content. I think that's a good term.
Yeah.
Like it'll always be relevant. Like everyone's even in 2 years, right? People are gonna be able to watch the videos that I make and think, oh, hey, that's a pretty cool thing that he did there,
Mm-hmm.
I would say I think one thing that's really good on your channel, like as soon as I went to it, I think your thumbnails are pretty good.
Oh, that was that has improved a lot over the months. So like
they're pretty like it's clean and like you know exactly what you're gonna see when you click on it.
Yeah, that's the point. They were pretty bad before. Actually, over the last year. So I've had my channel for about a year, and almost I would say very very close to a year at this point. Maybe a little bit more than that. And I'm at like 15,000 right now, I think.
Impressive.
Or very very close to that at least. And over the course of that time, I've like improved. Well, the video quality obviously has gotten much better, and just like the thumbnails and the SEO and everything you learn on NewTubers has just gotten way better at it.
It came together for you. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really really great.
Yeah, I'm happy about it.
That's like the perfect success story. Like coming in, reading all the cool stuff on YouTubers, and then becoming super successful. That's exactly what we want.
Golden poster boy.
Actually, NewTubers was like extremely, extremely helpful to me. Like having gone into it before I even started a channel, I kind of knew exactly what I should be doing, right? And it's just I can say that NewTubers was like a hefty reason for that success. Like there's obviously other resources for new people that are content creators out there on the internet. Like there's some other YouTubers that make videos on what you should be doing, for example. But I found NewTubers to be a very one of the better resources.
Well, thank you. We like hearing that.
Oh yeah, I would say so. I think for hitting 5K, it was like a month and 20 days, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I started in like July, sometime in July. It was like late July when I made the meme channel.
Mm-hmm.
And like my channel was not growing at all, and I don't know what or why or how, but
wait, you said you reached 5K in 1 month?
Yeah, it was a month,
and
like
then you said your
days.
channel wasn't growing at all.
No, at the start, like I was grabbing like maybe 1 or 2 subs like every 3 days.
Decent growth.
Okay.
And then you had something go viral.
I made so like it was like from the It movie. And the Pennywise dance. I don't know if you've seen it, the Pennywise dance video. And I spent all day, like I didn't sleep that night. I made like 6 or 7 parts of the same thing. And that's what pretty much like my channel, I forget what, I think after the first day I was like 10,000 subs or something.
It's impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really lucky. But the thing is that I've noticed is like a lot of people came for that one meme and they all subscribed and stuff. But like when I upload now, I'm getting like maybe 2,000 to like 3,000 average views. And then if it's like a little more related to like a current topic, then it'll get like more. But like I have like 88,000 subs and like 2,000 of them will like click it when they watch it. So that's like, it's not many, because I think a lot of them came. I think that's the thing with the meme channels, that a lot of them, at least if it's like for one popular video, they'll subscribe for that one video. But after that, it's like you're not gonna have as many of those subscribers watching like the content that you make every day.
Right. So the way that you interpret your analytics is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah. Like at the start, my videos were basically, at that point after my channel like took off, the one thing and one tip that I learned from NewTubers was like feed off of like your success of like past videos. So if there's something that was doing really good, continue making videos kind of like related to that. So that's pretty much what I did for like the past month, until I'm like, it's starting to die down and I don't want to just do this. So I need to like just slowly ease into like different types of videos and like memes and stuff to like just let them know that like my content is memes, but it's not going to be like the same that you subscribe for.
Right.
So now it's a little harder. I find that it's harder to get subs.
I think you're doing fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a similar issue to you as well, except because one of my automotive themed videos went very viral. It got over 3 million views, and that was around the period when I saw almost all of my growth, right? I still see very solid growth that's higher than before I uploaded that video, but the majority of all of my analytics and revenue has been from that one video. And all my other videos get like 1 to 8,000 views on average. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get 30,000 views, which isn't a bad number, but it's not as high as I'd like it to be, or as consistent as I would like it to be, because out of my 11,000 subscribers, that would mean that only 3,000 or 4,000 or so on average are active, which is less than half. It's not a particularly happy thing to think about.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing, that like channels that are coming up and some channels that are like growing is just like learning how to like I haven't figured it out, like trying to figure out how to convert your subscribers to like to watch your content every day. Like I think like a really big channel like Jack's Films or something, he gets like a high amount of views for like this one like series of videos that he does, which is like the Yesterday I Asked You or something.
Right, yeah.
He knows what his subscribers want, so I guess that's one of the things you got to figure out as you're like, you know, as time like goes on, you got to figure out like, you know, what do they want.
No, that's awesome. And honestly, like it rolls right into our next question, which was how did your YouTube experience change once you surpassed 5K? Like what significant differences were there in the way that you create content, or the way that you interact with your subscribers, or even like just how much, you know, time and effort it takes to going into your, you know, that you put into your channel, like, you know, all of those kinds of things. Like what major changes did you face?
Well, I'll start with one of the most positive changes I faced with my overall YouTube experience. So before 5,000 subscribers, this is like the most notable change, I think. Before 5,000 subscribers, you know, I left comments on videos. You know, sometimes they got likes. But now sometimes when I comment on other videos, you know, I get a person commenting below me, "Hey, you're here as well. That's neat. I subscribe to you." And that's like that always like puts a smile on my face that someone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Right? Yeah,
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, you actually improved someone's life.
That's a warm fuzzy feeling. Yeah.
I got that tip from NewTubers as well. I don't know if you saw that, where it's like comment on other videos, like as a thing to like, you know, just to get your name out there, like obviously contribute to the video in a good way, but
right.
That's what someone on YouTubers said that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
If you're a regular viewer on like the bigger channels and you like comment on every video, not, you know, spamming, just, you know, as you said, adding to the conversation or relating to the channel, you know, the other regular viewers are going to see your name or your, you know, your icon pop up. And when you mouse over it, it does say that you have subscribers and and videos. And so it is a, kind of like a passive way to let people know that you're around. So it certainly, it works. It certainly does.
And another way that my YouTube experience changes, that I put a lot more effort into all my thumbnails and my video editing in general. Before that big change, I did a little bit less editing work. It might have not been as high quality, but then after I had a steady, stable fan base, I tried to give higher and higher quality, which definitely did improve the quality of all my videos and my channel overall.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's also been a thing that's been a theme with my channel. As I've gone higher with the subscriber count and the community around my videos, it's gone from like trying my best to like get one video out every week. Obviously, well, the videos I make take a really long time to make. But I've been trying to do one like every week before that, and sometimes even like 2 a week. And then ever since getting over 5,000, I've just decided to go for like quality over quantity. And
cool.
Now I've kind of realized that like all of my videos are going to be relevant forever, pretty much, because it's like art. Like I just do art, yeah. So everyone's always going to think art is cool. So
yeah,
I've just like, sometimes it takes me like 2 weeks to make a video, but I think that the fact that they're going to be around forever makes it worth it. Like I can wait 2 weeks,
Cool. Do you guys find that you take your channels more seriously, like since like before and after 5K, or would you say it's kind of like the same?
I would say it's the same. I've obviously gotten better at YouTubing.
Like I was saying, I think that I definitely take YouTube a little bit more seriously now, right? So before I just sort of regarded it as whatever, and I just upload whenever I want. But now I try to have a much more consistent uploading schedule, for example, because it's the little things that count,
That's excellent. What about you, Accept? You were asking some good questions there, but I don't think you shared.
I forget what I was. Oh, yeah.
How did your YouTube experience change once you surpassed that 5K?
I guess I guess it didn't really matter for you, right? Because you got it all at one day.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. But the thing about the meme channel is like when my like family asks like, "What is your channel?" I'm like, I don't want to tell you. I'm like, everyone else has these channels where it's just like, it's like you guys have like channels where there's like real content that's like, I don't know, it just feels different. Just like I just tell them it's like, instead of memes, it's like it's stupid comedy. You don't want to watch it. It's probably not for you guys at all. But I would say that I've taken it a lot more seriously. Like one thing I didn't do before was like check my analytics, but like every day I'm like checking. And I've kind of become addicted to it. Like I took it as just a random thing, but now like since I've tried like uploading consistently, like at least a couple videos a week, I found like I've taken it more seriously. And like other factors, like I've put more time into like my social media and stuff to try to like grow my channel out, I guess. Because I don't know, I'm looking at other competitors, like other channels that are related to like memes, like I guess Grande and like Dolan Dark and them, and I'm like, wow, I like what they're doing. And it's like, at first I thought it was just like, well, they're just uploading memes and stuff, but I realized that there is a lot more work into, like, for any channel. Like I didn't realize how much work there is. Like there's a lot of stuff if you want to like keep up with like a channel and like you want it to grow. You have to like, there's a lot of stuff that you have to work on your channel.
Yeah,
it's hard work. Like,
yeah,
whether you're at 5 or 5,000 or 5 million, it is hard work.
Yeah, and like even like, and for small channels too, like that might be like one of the hardest is like just the fact if maybe, I don't know if a smaller channel has to rely more on like the kind of ideas they have compared to like what they're releasing. I don't know.
Say that again?
If, like,
I would think that's true.
Yeah, because you have to like differentiate yourself from like other channels, especially at the start.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I can give you the perspective of a smaller channel. I am indeed a smaller channel. And, the particular content that I make is very niche, but there are tons of other housewives out there doing the exact same content that I make. And so it's like, okay, well, how do I make my videos just a little bit better? How do I make my thumbnails just a little bit more engaging? How do I make myself just a little bit more, of an attractive channel to, kind of lure, viewers into my channel instead of theirs, because everybody's putting out the same exact stuff. So if you guys could give just one tip, just one, to help other creators just starting out, what would your top tip be? And it can be the same tip, that everybody else has. It's okay.
Tip. I think that the first and one of the most important tips, I don't know if this is most important, but it's fairly important. Make sure that your thumbnails are eye-catching, because if your thumbnail is boring, no one's going to want to watch it. You want it to draw the viewer in. If they search your video up and there's multiple other videos, you want to stop them from clicking to other videos and make them click on your video. And on the same tangent, also make sure you tag your video properly so it actually does show up when people search your video.
That makes perfect sense.
All right, so we've got thumbnails and tags. What else have we got?
I guess I would say you should just make videos about stuff that you would do anyway. Like if you have a gaming channel, obviously you're a gamer, so that makes sense. Like you're gonna play games anyway. Just make a video about it, but I personally would still be doing the things that I'm doing even if I didn't have a YouTube channel, and so having a YouTube channel is just like easy. And if I wasn't successful, like I would still do it.
That's cool.
I like that.
And so, yeah, I think that would be the best way to go about this.
Yeah.
A big thing is consistent uploads. At least I've noticed, like, from the time where I would like upload nothing, like even after my channel kind of grew, there was times where I would like upload like once every day or like once every other day, and I noticed that just in general that I was getting more subs and my view count was like a lot higher. Whereas like if I uploaded one day and like I upload 4 the next week and something like that, I noticed a big difference. So I would say consistently uploading, but making sure it is quality content. Like instead of just like, make sure it's on par with the kind of content that you release.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that quality is more important than quantity with upload schedule. But 100%. If you already have the quality down, then definitely try to do more.
Yeah, it's not even like you have to upload every day. It's just like, with like consistency, it doesn't mean like uploading like all the time. It just means like if you're making quality content, like don't upload 2 one week and then like nothing the next week. Like if you're planning on just like one video a week, just like try to schedule it like maybe the same day every week.
I'm so bad at that too.
It's hard. It's so hard.
And also, one thing I could also recommend about scheduling videos is there's not a lot of people know about it. There's a neat little function where if you upload a video, you can set it to be scheduled and upload at a specific time. So for example, if most of your audience is in America, you can set it to upload the next day at 8 a.m. where there's just going to be a peak amount of traffic because that's when everyone's waking up. Kids are going to be like watching on their iPads or whatever they used to watch, So definitely, think about how you're going to be uploading your YouTube video.
And I would say
timings.
Yeah, I would say bounce that off of your analytics as well. It tells you like the age groups that are watching your videos, so.
That's true. Yeah. I guess you could say basically like one of the best things just to keep up with your analytics, so you pretty much know all of it, like how much they're clicking, like how often, like how long they're watching your videos and all that. So many things. There's so many factors.
Well, and you can even take that into your social media.
Oh yeah.
Like for example, like if you if you just schedule your video in advance and you upload it at say 8 a.m., but that kind of your demographic is like high schoolers and they get out of school at say 2 p.m., you can then schedule all of your social media to start pinging at like, 1:30, 1:45, 2 o'clock. And then as soon as they're out of school and they're, I know they're always on their phones and they're not supposed to be most of the time, but it's like right there when they've got like peak time. They're, they're going home, they're on the bus, they're, right after school, having a snack, whatever, like looking at their computers. Or, like if your demographic is, like 35-year-old moms, like you want to schedule your social media time at, say, like 8 or 9 p.m. because that's after the kiddos have gone to bed and mom gets a break, So, it's certainly, those analytics are so invaluable when it comes to all manners of managing your channel and your brand. Like, I think that's an excellent tip.
Yeah, I guess that's another hard part is I do not know how to gain like a social media following at all.
Oh, same. Yeah, but like my Twitter has like 20 followers.
Yeah.
I found that so hard. And I feel like it's such a useful thing, right?
I've been so bad at that as well.
I mean, it's certainly tough. It's really, really hard. We did Social Networking Week this past summer, and it was really widely successful. But, we have such high turnover, or people, come in and they get popular really quick like you guys did. So it's definitely something that we're looking to, not necessarily do again in the same exact format, but we definitely have things coming down the line that are going to help people kind of manage their social networking, manage their social media. Like, how do you approach it? How do you make friends? How do you use tags on social media? How are they different than the tags in your videos? All that sort of stuff. So, it's going to be great. So hang in there. If you guys still want the tips, we've got them coming.
Yeah, those tutorials would be useful for us.
So here's a question for you guys. Like, what do you love most about creating content? Like what just gives you that satisfying feeling about content creation?
Number one thing that gives me that I love about creating content is the fact that I know that somewhere out there, my video, someone loved it and like it inspired them to, try and do something. Well, I don't know if inspire is the right word, but I affected someone's happiness positively, and that's a really great thought when you think about that. Like, one person could affect so many different people's happiness, and that's one of the things that really gets me going for my YouTube channel. That sort of motivation that I know that I could be affecting people's lives, even if it's in such a minuscule way that it just makes them happy for today. It's still worth it, in my opinion.
That's awesome.
I guess I like the community involved with my particular niche. Not necessarily like the YouTube community, because there's kind of some toxicness going on there. But like in like PC modding, there's a really awesome community, and like just to be able to contribute to that, and through like tutorial videos and that kind of thing, to bring more people into that community, and that's just a lot of fun for me.
That's great. So you enjoy the community that you're a part of.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. I guess having a good community keeps things fresh, and you don't want like a negative community, because you're just like, God, it's like, why am I here?
Oh, that feels bad, man.
One thing I love about creating content, I think, I would say branching off of community. Like, I love having people to talk to that like can share like positive vibes from the videos that I make. Like, sometimes I'll get messages in the Discord or something from people saying like, hey, thank you so much for like making this video. It brought a little bit of happiness to my day. And I don't know, those kind of messages are just like, that keeps me going. That keeps me making more videos. 'Cause that's kind of what I want to do. Like, I love comedy, and my friends don't think I'm funny, but I like to think that, I could come up with some funny stuff sometimes. So like, I don't know, I like.
Clearly,
you have a YouTube channel that clearly
superior intellect
defines you as funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That's one of the best things, I think, is getting like good reactions from people.
So those are all of my structured questions. I'm just going to open it up. If you guys have anything else that you want to talk about, if you want to talk about maybe your technology setup that you have, the programs that you use, I'm sure our NewTubers would love to hear more about that. Just if there's any last thoughts on your mind, I'm going to go ahead and open the table for you guys to kind of chat at will, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, I guess I could go first again. So regarding my technology setup, so my main work slash gaming computer is right here next to me, and it's not like super powerful or anything, but it's fairly powerful. It has an i5 CPU and a GTX 1070 coupled to 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I generally find that gets me through almost any kind of video game, and it still leaves me with enough processor headroom to record. Very few times have I encountered a game where my CPU is actually taxed to the limit. So if you're looking to upgrade your computer, if you're making a gaming channel or something like that, you most likely are not going to need anything more than an i5 processor, unless like maybe you're going to be playing like simulator games like Civ 5 or City Skylines. And then regarding my recording software, I normally just use NVIDIA Shadowplay because I find that it's robust, it's easy to use, and it hasn't failed me a single time. I can't recall one time off the top of my head where it's crashed and it doesn't place any extra CPU load on my processor. And then my editing software itself is Sony Vegas. I would say that if you compare it to Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects, it's probably not as good. I don't think it's as full featured, but it's really simple to use, and it still has a lot of plug-in. Gosh darn, I forgot the word for it. But it has like a lot of plugins that are available for it on the third-hand market, so that's really great.
I would agree that you probably don't need any more robust hardware than that.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the people I talk to are like make memes and like they make short videos, and some of them make videos from their phones. Like they have like there's like apps that do everything, and like they make great content.
Well,
it's like what?
The little picture you have right now, the little mouth funny face thing, they're all using those for the memes right now. Yeah. Like that's really, really popular on Facebook is the funny face voice modification.
It's a lot of
app or whatever it is.
There's a lot of ways. Like my computer's not like I don't make long videos and stuff. Like I know you guys have like longer videos, so mine doesn't take much, or like I don't mind if it renders a little longer because like my computer isn't anything special. But I don't know. Mine's pretty basic.
Pretty basic. I like it. What about you, Dietec?
Well, I have my PC, my editing PC. Obviously, it changes a lot actually because I mod a lot of different things, and then I like swap out parts and everything. But right now it's a Kaby Lake i7 770
beauty.
or 7. Yeah, that thing with the K at the end, and then 16 gigs of RAM and a 1080. So I have pretty solid hardware. And for recording, I use right now I'm just using a headset, a Logitech headset, but I usually use a Blue Yeti microphone, and then just this like pretty cheap camera that I got on like Black Friday like last year.
Hey, if it works, right?
Yeah, I mean it works well enough. I have to like have a lot of light in my workshop in order to have like a decent looking video, but it's okay.
What kind of lighting do you use? Do you just use like what you set up normal lights, or do you like buy specific?
No, I didn't buy any specific lights. Actually, my workshop is pretty well lit as it is, so I didn't really have to do anything differently, but it's just a noticeable difference between recording in the workshop and recording in my apartment. It's like my apartment's much darker. I wouldn't even
try to have a face cam in my room. It has like one like dim light bulb suspended from like a fan's, and it's like horrible lighting conditions for recording.
Like I don't even know what's in my computer, to be honest. Like there's not. I got it like a couple years ago, but I'd say the programs that I use like to edit, mainly I use Adobe Premiere. I got lucky because with my school program, I get to use those like as long as I'm in this program, so I just take advantage of that. But I use Premiere mainly, and then I'm not good at After Effects at all, so I've been taking a lot of tips. So like I'll do like light stuff in After Effects, but I want to use that more. And then sometimes I'll use Adobe Audition just to like play around with the audio sometimes. And those are the main tools I use for editing. And then I think one thing that I'll say, I'm pretty sure like almost everyone at NewTubers knows this, but just in case not, I use TubeBuddy and vidIQ. I use both of them. And I use the free versions. I don't pay for them. That's usually how I get the most out of my
sell out.
Yeah.
Well, we have a discount for those if you want it.
No, and I actually find it so helpful.
Right.
Especially when you're looking for comments and like you can like sort through the comments, or you can like preset video tags and all that.
Yeah,
I find
the
that really
video
useful.
tags were pretty useful when I started using that. I used like a trial version for like
Yeah.
a month, I think, and it was good. I didn't buy it at the end of that, but
I just use the free thing, whatever it comes with, like the Google Chrome extension or something. By the way, random, but are you guys part of I forget the name for it? It's like you're signed with something, so like they
A
take a
channel
percentage.
network.
A
I
multi-channel
know what
network.
I don't.
Yeah.
I've gotten a few offers from those.
Yeah, I got quite a few emails for them, and I'm
Right,
like, I don't know
yeah,
if that's
'cause-
spam or not.
I've gotten contacted by those as well. Actually, I've looked it up. Like after being contacted, I've probably had like 3 or 4 offers. But apparently it's not
Yeah,
that great to join.
that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
Like-
NewTubers' official stance is that if you are in our community and you're seeking help and all of that stuff, you do not have need of a multi-channel network, because all they're going to do is take all your profits if you're getting any at all. We have other resources that will give you the majority of the quote-unquote benefits you would get from a multi-channel network, and it's completely free, and they don't take any of your money, and it's just not worth it. Now, if you were like huge and you needed a channel manager and all of that stuff, the situation would be different. But for 99.99999 infinity% of our NewTubers, we highly recommend that you do not join a multi-channel
I heard they don't do much, and like I've talked to some bigger channels on Twitter and stuff, and the only reason that they're in them is because the channels came to them and like offered them that's something like different than what they offer like through email, like,
Right.
to like every kind of channel.
Mm-hmm.
They actually like
Right,
control
right,
stuff,
right.
and like I think they don't take as much, and they actually do
Yes.
stuff for your channel. So
Especially.
I heard.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
nice, I guess. I still probably wouldn't join
I would
one.
still be like questionable. It's just like I don't mind being like solo.
But I do not think it would be a good idea to join a network, especially with the current YouTube monetization policies and stuff.
Well, yeah, it's certainly a challenge for bigger channels. It's a challenge for, our smaller channels. And it's, right now, YouTube is in a state of change and flux.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of like, well, I don't know what's happening. And it's tough. Like, I think we get a post, at least 2 or 3 posts every day on the subreddit. Hey, I just applied for monetization. How long is it going to take? I'm like, you're going to be waiting a long time. Like, just forget that you even applied for it and keep working on your content, because it's not going to happen anytime soon.
What's nice about the NewTubers applying for monetization is that they probably wouldn't make very much money in that month or however long it takes
Exactly.
anyway. Just because you're so small, you'd probably be missing out on what, like $5?
It's probably
It
not
wouldn't be
worth
worth
it.
it.
Exactly.
deal.
So here's a question for you guys. Have you guys monetized your channels?
Yeah, I have monetized my
Yeah.
channel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was before like a lot of the weird stuff happened. So like mine, I think I got approved within like a week, I think. But there's people that it's taken.
And that was the norm, yes.
I think it took me like a month to get approved.
It's all random, I think. Like there's some guy who has like a channel and they've been waiting over a month, and it's just like some people are like a couple days and they get approved. So guess it's
Yeah,
just
I was
really
also
random.
looking enough to get approved pretty quickly. But the thing with monetization is that it's very hit or miss depending on what you put in your video. For example, a lot of my newer, more recent videos use a genre of music called Eurobeat because it's related to Initial D, and that sort of helps to make the video more interesting. Problem is, majority of those tracks are held by a media group, and they really do not like letting people use those songs, so I have to go out of my way to find these really niche tracks.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
copyright free.
They'll still let me upload a channel.
Yeah,
Most of the time it's going to be forcefully monetized by them, and I don't really like the idea of giving some corporate suit my 5 cents I deserve on a video, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your 5 cents, yeah.
There's both sides to that, I guess. I guess one tip for like people that, I mean, I'm getting hit by demonetization, that yellow button all the time, but apparently one thing that you can do is to like instead of before making your video go public, and like if you don't mind not scheduling your video, I forget what the option is called. If you put it to unlisted, and I think if you give it 2 days, the process the demonetization process will go through, and then it'll check it, and so that it might be cleared, and then when you go public, it won't hit with that demonetization button. That's just sometimes, though. I don't know how often it's happened, but
I've heard that as well. It sounds like a good idea.
I've tried it.
That is something that our NewTubers have been doing.
I've tried it, and I haven't seen any success yet, but I also haven't waited the full 2 days yet, so.
Well, and something else is the fact that, people upload their videos and, it immediately gets demonetized. And then when you go to request it, it says that you need 1,000 views. You do not need 1,000 views on your video for it to be manually reviewed. Like that, they just put that there to keep people from asking.
Right. Yeah. It's a super scummy tactic.
It's a scummy tactic, but they've got such an overload of monetization issues that they're going through right now. And so, they'll fix it. Everything will even out.
What do you mean they have to fix it? That's the thing, though. They don't have to fix it. There's no competitor to YouTube.
No.
They do if they don't want a competitor to come up. Like, they're leaving room for a competitor.
Where are you going to take your videos to, though? Dailymotion? No one watches Dailymotion, unfortunately. There's no real competitor to YouTube.
No.
Feels
of course not. But
and VidMe's not an option anymore.
Hey, but if something big, like, obviously YouTube is Google, but if, like, Amazon, for example, came out with, like, a different YouTube, people would take that seriously, you know?
And you just don't, like, why would you want to piss off, like, your audience and, like, the people that come to your site and stuff? Just, like, and the big channels are always, talking about how, like, messed up the system is right now. Obviously, that YouTube doesn't want that. So, like, it can be bad. I feel like I've been watching some videos and like it's like some bot running it now, right? It's like
yeah, you might have seen Emperor Lemon's video. He talked about it. Allegedly there is a bot which checks through videos and goes through, and if it detects that there's something that allegedly has a set of pre-programmed recordings, and if it matches or closely matches one of those, it just automatically just destroys any chance of your monetization. Really sucks.
Here's a question for you. That just kind of popped into my head. You guys were talking about, if Amazon, created, something similar to YouTube, would you guys now that you are, relatively established on YouTube, still fairly small in the grand scheme of things, or medium-sized channels, would you attempt to find success on a new platform?
Yes. I would do both. I would just upload the same video on both platforms.
That's a smart idea. That's a lot of work.
But what if YouTube all of a sudden decides that he can't do that, though? Because they technically could. If they detect... Because the thing is, YouTube is owned by Google. YouTube already doesn't turn any sort of profit. They're close to turning a profit, but not very close from what I have heard. So if there's a competitor, all of a sudden they earn way less money. They're just going to pull a fast one and decide you can't upload videos to our competitor or else we'll shut your channel down. And that's something that's a little bit scary. I definitely try, though. Upload on both.
I think that would be very dangerous for them to say. People would be outraged over that.
Yeah, well, people were outraged over the Logan Paul business, and they manually reviewed it, and they still put it on trending #1. So, who's the bad guy here?
Sure, but, like, that makes sense for them. That makes them money. If you completely piss off your community, that's not going to make you money.
I don't know if I would. I've thought about it recently, like if there was something else and moving over, especially if you were like one of the first kind of to go over there. But I feel like at this point there would be so many creators going to a new kind of website that you wouldn't kind of get anything new out of it unless they offer something like massively different. Like if, say, they would like randomly promote channels, like small channels and stuff too, on like the homepage and stuff, like instead of just like the big channels all the time and like Jimmy Fallon on trending and all that. Like if it was something as big as like that, then I would consider it. But if it would be a similar type of thing, I think YouTube, like, you know, down the road they'll fix a lot of their problems. So I don't think they do a lot of good stuff. Like at least they give the opportunity to kind of make your content here.
I think the community tab that's coming out now is like going to be, if they take that and roll with it and add to it, I think it'll be extremely useful for everyone.
The community tab, for those who may not know, I believe that the community tab is for individual channels. Is that, can you talk about that a little bit more?
It's for channels with 10,000 or more subscribers, I think. Gotcha.
And what sort of features are gonna be on the community tab? Do we know yet?
I think they're randomly starting to give it out to channels with 10,000 or more subs. But it's pretty much like a social media on YouTube, and like people who scroll through the homepage, they'll see like posts that you make, so you can like share videos from other channels.
Yeah,
you can
post
make
pictures and like status updates and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a really good feature.
Right. Yeah, the only way it's limited though is that it's limited to mobile users, from my understanding currently. So you need to check your analytics and see if that would have a massive impact or not.
Oh, you're saying that it only shows up on like homepages on mobile?
Yeah, it only shows up on mobile, which is a little bit annoying.
I'm sure that's just part of the beta. They're just testing mobile right now.
Most likely.
I feel like what they'll do is that maybe they'll have a tab on the side where they can click community, and it'll show like the subscribers community posts.
And that would make a lot of sense, because I think it would be a little bit annoying to see like not videos on the YouTube homepage, but if you had a separate tab, a separate like homepage just for the community stuff that you're following, that would make a lot of sense.
Are you listening, YouTube?
I think the only reason that the community tab, I think it's pretty new, right? So I think that's probably why smaller channels aren't getting it yet. But I feel like over time they're gonna release it for everyone, because like it's a good feature for like small channels should be able to use it. Like it should be for any kind of channel that has like a community to let them know what's going on.
So here's the thing, you get your your customized URL at 100 subscribers. And then at 10,000 views, you can apply for monetization. And now it seems like at 10,000 subscribers, as of right now, you get the community tab. Like, since you're already past all those milestones, do you feel that those things would have benefited you better? Or do you think that you should have been, focusing on those things when your channels were so small? Or do you think those are just features that should be saved for larger channels?
Well, the custom URL, that doesn't really matter. You could just buy a URL. Like I could just buy like, I don't know, Dietec.com if that existed, and then just like link that to my YouTube channel. Doesn't really matter.
I wouldn't say that's particularly useful. It might be if your channel's a little bit harder to find with searching, definitely. But I don't even know what my own custom channel is.
Yeah, mine's stupid. Like if I go on to like Social Blade to look up, if I just type accept, it loads up another channel that someone made their thing accept from like 7 years ago. So like I couldn't even make my custom URL related to my channel. And then like Social Blade doesn't even pop up. So I find that like the least useful. I think if someone's going to find your channel, it's going to be either through like social media or like searching for a video, pretty much.
Community tab is awesome though.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing, because like it's hard keeping up with your social media sometimes, and like just having a place right there where like all your subscribers can see it, it's like perfect.
Yeah, I think they don't like that a lot of creators are like sending their people off of YouTube. Like they want to keep people on YouTube as much as they possibly can. So a lot of creators having like Facebook pages or Instagram pages or whatever, it's they're trying to get some of that to come and stay on YouTube.
Yeah, which is really, really smart for like them, and it really helps us, I'd say.
It is really smart, but they just have to do it right. Like if they do it in a way that pisses people off, like like, for example, the best way to do it, like I said, would be to have a separate tab. Like if somebody's looking at YouTube, they expect to see videos. That's what they're there for. And if they see like pictures or just like paragraphs, that's like, yeah, that's not really what you want. So
even on mobile, seeing that is kind of a little questionable. It's like, I don't think they're there.
Yeah, so they have to make it like optional.
Yeah. And like if you have the bell on, then that's when you get like notified that your subscriber posted something.
Yeah. That would work.
Fair. I would say the community tab would be the most useful when you're starting out.
Well, certainly something for our NewTubers to look forward to. This has been just awesome, guys. Like, just awesome conversation. Do you have any final thoughts? I know that we've been final thoughting now for a while, but I just wanted to offer it out one more time. Final thoughts, saying goodbye, last little shout out for your channel, whatever you want to do, you can do it now. So,
NewTubers is cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. One thing I want to say was like a lot of people in NewTubers and stuff, they say, and it's a good tip, and they say like your tip is like trying to like make yourself different with the content that you make. But another thing is like your channel brand overall. Like there's some kind of like, for what I'm doing on my channel, that I was like trying to think of like my profile pictures without a nose. So one thing I'm doing on like social media and like is letting them know that if they like want to send me like,
that's
a picture,
hilarious.
I can like denosify them and kind of like bring them in towards like a community. So there's like
that's actually
something
pretty
like
neat.
that with your channel.
Yeah, I like that idea.
It's just like, yeah, kind of like, yeah, just try to think of something with your channel that you could do with your community to kind of like bring them in, because like you don't need like 1 million subscribers to have like a fun little community. Like just trying to do something that will make them remember your channel.
that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'll have our alumni channels linked below or in the show notes if you're listening on podcast. If you liked this interview, make sure to let us know who else you'd like to hear from and check out some of our other NewTubers interviews. You can also reach us on social media, Reddit, Discord, and of course, our brand new website, veryfetch.net, your ultimate go-to for content creation tutorials, tips, and more. My name is Meg. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you around on NewTubers.